Welcome back, guys, to Football Dynasties. I'm your host, Dell. Today's episode is going to be the Stardom and Stidham Week 1 edition for your fantasy teams for the weekend. Before we dive into the start and sit, let's talk about Thursday and Friday's action. For the first time to start the year, we had a game on a Friday night, and boy, that game did not disappoint. But before we get to that one, let's talk about the Chiefs and the Ravens. It is likely that you will be spending your fab on Monday or Tuesday to try and pick this guy up. Now, last year he looked awesome at the end of the year when Andrews went down. I think I'm all in. After watching week 1, you don't want to overreact. But the options were very, very few for Lamar Jackson from what it looked like. They went away from running the football like I thought they were. So Derrick Henry didn't see that much playing time in that second half. But I think as the year progresses, it'll get more balanced, I feel. Lamar Jackson is definitely not going to win the game with his arm by the looks of it, especially after week 1. But, I mean, he's still a very good passer of the football. I'm not going to say he's not. But his rushing ability is what kept him in that game all the way down to the end. Likely so close, that 1 inch right at the end, a little reminiscent of the KD playoff moment we had a few years ago. But nonetheless, they didn't get it in. It looked like they were going to go for 2, which would have made that ending a little bit more fun. But either way, congrats to the Chiefs. They start off 1-0. And Mahomes does it again. And he did it with what I thought was the surprise of the week so far. Obviously 2 games in, but Xavier Worthy looked like a world beater, dude. I mean, this guy is so fast. How the Buffalo Bills traded away to not get this guy is unreal. Let's hope Keon Coleman works out for the Bills. But if it doesn't, it'll be another bad deal for the Bills because they could have had this guy. Instead, they let the Chiefs get the fastest man in the NFL now. Although Tyreek Hill will have something to say about that. Anyway, so let's go to Friday's game. The end of that game, let's touch on that first. Kind of sad, Jordan Love went down. Some of the news going around now is that the ACL is intact. He will be back in Green Bay. I believe they said sometime Sunday, and then they will get an MRI in there and kind of see the full damage in there. But they did say that they've already done somewhat of a scan down there in Brazil, and the ACL is intact, so it might just be a hard sprain. Hoping that is the case because we don't want to see another one of these top QBs go down so early. That field was terrible. I'm a soccer guy, but man, that field was terrible. I don't even think soccer players would have been able to play in the conditions the way it was. Way too soft. Pretty much the equipment manager spent the entirety of the game getting those switched, trying to get those right cleats. So that's a little bit unfortunate that went down. But other than that, Saquon Barkley, the Giants feel, oof. This guy is going to be a beast this season behind that offensive line. Jalen Hurts in that center definitely had a few mistakes throughout the game, but I'm sure they will work that out. But yeah, man, Eagles, congrats to them. Jordan Love, hopefully he gets back up quick. And let's move on to the Stardom and Stidham for Week 1 edition. All right, my first start, Malik Neighbors. You're gonna want to put this guy in. That Vikings defense ranked 24th in pass last year. The Giants have no one else to throw the football to. So I think Malik Neighbors will be involved kind of the way that Xavier Worthy was involved. And it's just going to be try to get this guy the ball however we can. This is their playmaker. I see Malik Neighbors having a very, very big game. The next Stardom guy is going to be another rookie, Brian Thomas Jr. He is now listed as the number 2 for the Jaguars. Gabe Davis is listed at 3. Christian Kirk is the 1. So Brian Thomas is going to be out there quite a bit. So I anticipate he will have a big game as well. My third must start for the week is another rookie, and it's going to be Adonai Mitchell. Josh Downs is down. Wow, Josh Downs is down. Good one. Michael Pittman will be double covered a lot. That Texans defense ranked 23rd in pass last year. Obviously, the rankings don't mean much now because it's a new year, but just for the purposes of this, last year the Texans' pass defense wasn't very good either. So I looked for Adonai Mitchell to have a big game, which leads me to my headline for Monday morning, which will be rookie wide receivers dominate week 1 of the 2024 NFL season. I just truly believe that after the Xavier Worthy start, these rookies are getting put in and they're getting the ball fast. So I kind of expect the rookie wide receivers to do really well this week. Honorable mention, we'll go with Marvin Harrison. Obviously, I don't want to tell you to start Marvin Harrison because probably 100% of us are starting Marvin Harrison. So yeah, those are my 3 starters right there: Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas, and Adonai Mitchell. Make sure you put them in your lineups. Let's move on to the sit-em. So I had a hard time with this one because it's week 1, you don't know, but I went with my 3 gut reactions. And the first one, which I think a lot of people are actually doing because I'm watching on ESPN and a couple of leagues that I'm in, a lot of guys are just benching them, including myself. But Jamar Chase. I will not be starting Jamar Chase in week 1 because he has had no practice time. I know he's going to be out there, but for how long? If the Bengals go up quick on the Patriots, I don't see them having him be out there without the reps. You don't want to risk a hamstring. You don't want to risk calf. You don't want to risk any injury to your number 1. So I think Jamar Chase will be very limited. He will start, but he will be limited. That is why he will not be in my lineup this week. And my second sick guy is going to be Stefon Diggs. So I'm sitting Stefon Diggs in week 1 because I don't know how that ball will be distributed by CJ Stroud. Now I feel like it's going to be one of those where he's going to probably go to the hot hand, and it's so tough to say that, oh yeah, Stefon Diggs automatic starter every week. I think it's going to depend on matchup, week to week. With Tank Dell is so good. Nico Collins just got the bag, so he's going to be there. So Stefon Diggs is definitely going to be one of the guys that I sit this week, but I'm probably starting Nico and Tank, but Stefon Diggs being the new guy in town, I'm probably going to have him sit this one out. And for my last sit of the week, the Cowboys running backs. So that has been kind of the offseason thing for the Cowboys is who's their number 1 running back? Is it Zeke? Is it Dowdle? Deuce Vaughn's name was kind of mentioned a little bit, not as the starter, but as part of the rotation. So up against that Cleveland's defense in week 1, I really don't anticipate any one of these guys having a big game. I think it'll be a running back by committee approach for sure, especially against that defense. So this week I am not starting any of the Cowboys running backs. I do look for CD to have a big game, but the running backs, that's a no-go for me this week. All right, guys, thank you for listening to week 1's edition of Stardom and Situm. Like and subscribe, and we'll be back with more.